Before the war came to us, before Earth became a battlefield in a cosmic struggle millions of years in the making, there was Cybertron, an extraordinary world thriving with technology, life, and unimaginable power. But like all great civilizations, it faced a fateful choice: evolve or perish. That decision ignited a conflict so massive it would shake the universe itself. Stick around, because what you're about to witness is the untold story of a war that started long before our time and will change everything you thought you knew. At first, Cybertron was a world of peace. Autobots and Decepticons weren't always enemies. They were once united, working toward the common good. Their society flourished under the guidance of the High Council, and their people lived in harmony. But like the calm before a storm, this peace wouldn't last forever. Beneath the surface, cracks began to form, and those cracks would soon tear the planet apart. One of those cracks came in the form of Megatron, a gladiator turned revolutionary. Megatron believed Cybertron's destiny was greater than peace. To him, the planet was destined to rule the stars, and its people, the Cybertronians, should reign over all other life forms. But his vision wasn't shared by everyone. While Megatron gathered followers, others feared the cost of his ambition, and standing in opposition to him was Optimus Prime. Optimus, once a humble archivist, believed in something entirely different. For him, Cybertron's greatness lay not in domination, but in its capacity for freedom, justice, and peace. The clash between these two visions, one of order through power, the other of freedom for all, set the stage for the war that would engulf their world. As tensions grew, Cybertron found itself divided. What started as political disagreement became open conflict. Megatron's Decepticons, fueled by his ideology of strength and control, turned to violence to reshape Cybertron in their image. The Autobots, under Optimus Prime's leadership, stood their ground, fighting to preserve the freedoms they believed were fundamental. It was no longer just a war of words, it was a war for survival. The once great cities of Cybertron became battlegrounds. The hum of industry was replaced by the sounds of war, clashing metal, exploding energy cores, and the cries of soldiers on both sides. Megatron's desire for control knew no bounds, and he set his sights on the Allspark, the source of all Cybertronian life. With it, he could reshape the planet to fit his vision of absolute order. But Optimus knew that the Allspark wasn't a weapon to be wielded. It was the lifeblood of their civilization. If it fell into the wrong hands, the consequences would be catastrophic. As the war dragged on, both leaders made choices that would push Cybertron to the brink. Every battle, every loss brought their world closer to destruction. And then, the unthinkable happened. Cybertron, drained of its energy, began to die. The war had taken everything: their resources, their people, their future. Neither side could win, but neither could afford to lose. The planet itself, once a thriving beacon of progress, had become a wasteland, barely able to support life. Both Optimus and Megatron knew that Cybertron was no longer sustainable. In a last, desperate effort to save their kind, Optimus Prime made a decision. The Autobots would leave Cybertron. They would venture into the stars in search of a new energy source to save their people. But Megatron, ever the warrior, had no intention of letting them escape. He pursued them, determined to claim the Allspark for himself, and with it, ultimate power. And so the war left Cybertron, but it didn't end. The Autobots and Decepticons continued their fight across the stars, their conflict now taking them to a distant world, one rich in resources, one that could tip the scales in this endless war. That world was Earth. But even as they battled on this new stage, the true consequences of their war were still unfolding. The echoes of their conflict ripple through time and space, leaving even the Autobots and Decepticons unsure of what comes next. Their past choices may have shaped their future, but it's the road ahead that holds the greatest danger. What's coming will change everything, and of course you won't want to miss what happens next. It's going to be unlike anything you've ever imagined. Before you go, we want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let us know what part of the story surprised you the most. Or better yet, where do you think the war will take us next?